I'm travelling with World Expeditions to spend time with one of the oldest cultures left in the world. So we've just arrived in Arnem land, which is in the Northern Territory of Australia. Arnhem Land is bound by the Gulf of Carpentaria and the Arafura Sea. It is owned by Aboriginal people and special permits are required to enter. We've been invited by the Timaru Land Management team to help them with their coastal cleanup project. On our arrival, we were welcomed with a traditional smoke ceremony. The ceremony pays respect to ancient Indigenous traditions and to ward off unwelcome spirits.
Welcome to Cape Arnem.
By combining traditional land management and Western science, the Timaru Rangers strive to protect their land and their culture for the future.
This logo represents the two muitis working under the one umbrella. This flowers is called mocha, and it's a meaning of all the people working together.
The vine brings us together.
On our way out to camp, we decided to stop and grab some morning tea.
Getting danpala, which is a mud mussel, and we're just collecting some to eat.
I guess wading through ankle-deep mud is one way to get something to eat. These mud mussels have been a source of protein for the people of Arnhem Land for thousands of years. Now, to see what they taste like.
Mud mussel even.
These mussels are considered an absolute delicacy by the Aboriginal people of the area.
How is it?
It's like a salty mussel mixed with an oyster. I feel a little chewy.
I reckon one's enough for me. From the bush, we head straight to the beach to find out what the biggest problem is for these rangers. Every year, more than 6 million tonnes of rubbish get dumped into the sea. Due to the ocean's currents, most of the rubbish that gets dumped in Southeast Asia ends up on these remote beaches. We're going to spend the next couple of days helping the rangers pick up as much rubbish as possible. As we walked up the beach picking up rubbish, Ranger Gather spotted a turtle's nest.
We found greenback turtle nest.
Greenback turtles are endangered. However, because turtle eggs are a traditional food source, Indigenous people are allowed to take them. With a bucket of fresh turtle eggs, we decided it was a good time to take a break for lunch. We headed down the coast to one of the rangers' favourite lunch spots. Fresh oysters off the rocks. I couldn't bring myself to eat a turtle egg, but I'm happy to get stuck into oysters. I've eaten a lot of good oysters in my life, but without a doubt, these were the best I've ever had. If you're not too keen on the idea of raw oysters, the rangers have figured out a way to lightly toast them. With no supermarkets around, oysters and turtle eggs are a part of the daily diet up here. After lunch, we decided to get out of the heat and head back to camp. On the way back to camp, the rangers collected some firewood and some thin trees so that they could show us the skills of spear making.
And we're making spear.
Spear making is a tradition that is passed down from elders to young men, and only men are allowed to make spears. And what really surprised me is that these spears are still commonly used for fishing. The next morning, we head back to the coast to spend another day picking up rubbish. One of the main things that wash up here are ghost nets. Ghost nets are fishing nets that have fallen off or been abandoned at sea by fishing trawlers. They have a devastating impact on the environment. They drift through the oceans, entangling and killing all sorts of marine life. The rangers' main objective is to get the nets off the beach before they get swept back out by the tides and do more damage. I couldn't believe it, but over 2 days we managed to pick up about 1.7 tonnes of rubbish, which can give you a pretty good idea of how much rubbish is still out there. It's been a real treat coming out here and working with the Timaru Land Management team. I've learnt loads about Indigenous culture, and cleaning up the beach has been really quite rewarding.